the seas are just beautifully flat. This is awesome sailing.
Yeah. Well, let's put some clothes on and and do our regular log, eh?
Alrighty.
Okay. So today is July 11th, day 12, and after a frustrating night, last night the wind just would not cooperate. I mean, we didn't make any progress at all. In fact, we lost ground over the last couple of days. But long about just before daybreak, I guess it was, the wind started turning favorable.
Well, it changed. We tacked at 11 o'clock, and things started getting better from there.
We tacked at 11 p.m. We had gone west-northwest, off to the west anyway, trying to make some northing, and then we turned around and came east, and then we were doing okay. But gradually, as the morning went on, the wind has turned favorable, and now it's pretty nice. It's only about what do we figure, 7 knots of wind or 8 knots of wind? Not even that. It was 6 or 7 knots of wind. Anyway, we're getting almost 4 knots of boat speed out of it with our full main and our new Genoa up, and so we're quite pleased with that. We had a nice breakfast this morning. Because fairly calm, we had sweet potato hash and eggs. Yum yum. It was really good. And after breakfast, we went out and shook out the reefs and put the big Genoa up and got the boat moving faster. And so now we're moving along quite nicely. Then, because the sun is just beating down, it's a clear blue sky, the temperature is warm. We weren't really expecting it to be this
still
warm.
in the 80s.
Still in the 80s. So we had a shower. We went out in the cockpit again and threw buckets of water at each other, got all cleaned up, and had a good old time. And dried off in the sun and just
watched a few more bits of trash go by.
Thinking about bathing on a cruising boat, something I might want to talk about is personal hygiene. Every once in a while, someone will ask me, "What do you do about showers? Or don't you have a shower on the boat?" Only people who've never cruised would ask, "Do you have a shower on a 27-foot boat?" Showers are expensive, messy, impractical, difficult to maintain, and impossible to manage your water supply. Unless you've got a really big water tank and a water maker that makes lots of water, you're not going to be able to have a shower. You also have to deal with the wastewater from a shower. Where does that go? Down into the bilge with all the hair and everything to clog your bilge pumps, or into a sump. You have to deal with that stuff. So, no, there's no shower. But at the same time, even more important on a small boat like this with a crew is personal hygiene. You have to keep clean. So what we do about it, when it's warm, it's real simple. You can stop the boat, jump overboard, go swimming. We have that saltwater soap, either Prel concentrate, the old standby, or what was that new stuff? Salmon de Moor or something like that. I'll get it. I'll get the brand name out for you. Something we were trying out. Works pretty good. Anyway, so when it's warm, you can do that. Some people are braver than me. I don't think I would do it in temperatures much cooler than it is right now. The water temperature is probably around 70, maybe a little cooler, and the air temperature around 80. I don't think I would do it if it got any colder than that. Our primary solution to the problem is sponge baths. You heat up a kettle of water, pour it in a bowl, use a washcloth and soap, and wash up in the cabin like that.
As I fondly refer to it, a hot pot shower.
A hot pot shower, that's what Laura calls it. We had another name for them in the Army, but anyhow. And the other thing is the handy wipes. The moist handy wipes, that's a brand name. Moist towelettes that you buy in the supermarket or different places like that, they're scented and soaked and stuff and come in a little plastic jar. Those are good for a quick cleanup.
Well, these are nice after coming off watch at night, and you're all covered in salt
Yeah,
water.
get salt
and,
spray and stuff. You
you know,
can
you
get it
just
off your face.
wipe down real quick, and it just makes you feel so much better, and it's easier to get to sleep.
Yeah, so that's how we take care of personal hygiene. And the usual, you know, teeth brushing and all that other stuff happens every day, but that's basically the way we do it. So it's not difficult, and it's, you know, it works quite well. Of course, one of the first things we want when we get into port is a hot shower, followed very quickly by a cold beer. But
Are you already starting to dream of the cold beer?
I don't know, maybe.
Cold beer.
What else? Today. Oh, fishing. We're fishing.
Yeah,
We've been fishing for a couple of days. We decided that if we don't get any nibbles on this lure, we're going to change the lure. Even though it's supposed to be a surefire, guaranteed fish-catching lure from the person who gave
not
it to us.
according to the guy in the Willy Willy. He told
The
us
guy
if
in the
we
Willy
didn't
Willy
have a
said, nah,
cedar
you
plug,
can't catch anything with that. You know, you need a cedar plug. But we didn't have time to get a cedar plug before we left. I got lots of other stuff. I've got spoons and jigs and...
Yeah, we've got
you know.
plenty of things to go through, but we were referred to this setup. We were given this setup by a friend of ours.
The plastic squids are classic with a treble hook, plastic squid.
Yeah,
I
should
mean,
be no problem.
The
But we're
fishing I
moving a
have
little
done,
faster right now, so that might help too.
that might help. What we need to do is find another one of those big floating barrels
And do a drive-by.
and do a drive-by, because that's where you'll find the fish.
Well, we saw a couple of fish sitting under that one.
Yeah.
I saw them flash in the water. So
You find a mooring ball or a large fishnet float or any large piece of floating debris, and there's always mahi-mahi hanging out underneath. So that's what we're going to look for. And given the amount of small trash we've been seeing, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We get a little bit farther north into that debris field.
yeah, we're expecting to hit that probably tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow.
In the 34.
Well, it depends on if the wind holds. If we can continue this northerly progress, we'll be in the zone in 24
Another
hours.
day, yeah. Well, you had a cotter pin go on you this morning.
We had, yeah, you know, I've never liked those little split rings that they use for retaining rings for pins and stuff. And the blocks on our main sheet have those little rings. And I've had the problem before where the sheet will catch the ring and
Just rips that sucker right out of there.
unbends it, rips it right out. And then I didn't notice it today. It pulled the pin out of the bottom of the block where the sheet dead ends to the bottom of the block. And I looked up, I noticed that the boom was out way off to lure, and not supposed to be that. And I reached down to tighten it up, and the block didn't look right. And I looked, there was only 3 parts to the tackle.
Something's missing.
Something's missing, and oh, there's the pin. And the ring was a straight piece of wire in the cockpit.
Well, at least you found the pin.
At least I found the pin.
That would have been a bad thing if we
Well,
hadn't.
we have an extra main sheet.
Yeah.
I just hook up the extra main sheet while I repaired that one. And I used, instead of putting another split ring or cotter pin on it, we put
The Monell
some
seizing wire.
Monell seizing wire. So, and that's, I've been in the process of converting everything over to, you know, wire, safety wire, as opposed to cotter pins. All my turnbuckles and everything, except for I'm using pin wraps. But yeah, because I don't like those split rings. They catch on lines and stuff and straighten out and pull right out, and you won't notice it. Cotter pins, of course, can catch the lines, but they don't pull out when they catch. So I suppose that's better. This particular one, it's because it's on the block, you couldn't tape over it. I tried to tape over it, but it didn't work. So anyway, well, yeah, here we go.
So that's it for now.
That's it for now.
And